every project that we've seen so far that's part of Phase 4 that takes place after Avengers Endgame has taken place during this 6 to 12 month time period, and we never had Marvel Studios really tell us exactly when each product takes place, and we're just sort of left to our to our own eyes and ears to be able to piece together some elements of it. But at least now we have a hint, thanks to the producer of Ms. Marvel, of when the series takes place. And, well, it's years after Endgame. So this came officially from the producer of Ms. Marvel, who obviously should know a thing or two. And he recently said that as far as he's concerned, and as far as the people at Marvel Studios concern themselves with it, this series takes place around 1 to 2 years after Avengers Endgame. They can't officially put a number on it because it's not something that's really being talked about, but many years have gone by since Endgame. That's what he said. And he says again, off the top of their head, they can't say it because it could botch it, but around 2 years is an estimate. And that there's nothing specific right now to state, but they do have it in their timeline, and they kind of know where it takes place. So again, if we just kind of look at it realistically in terms of where the MCU was in terms of Avengers Endgame, well, it takes place in 2023. So Ms. Marvel is set either during 2024 or 2025. If we just think about it, with the other products we've gotten, such as Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, they all take place during the same time period, along with like Eternals, for example. It's right there after, but slowly they're pushing it backwards. Now, when it comes to Spider-Man No Way Home, that lines up with Hawkeye, but Ms. Marvel might be a little bit past that, like, in the spring / going into the summertime. So feasibly about a year and a half, closer to 2 years after Endgame, meaning that we're looking at Doctor Strange probably taking place right after Ms. Marvel, if that's how they're going to play with this, which could honestly work for it, which would make sense in terms of some of the things we see going on in Ms. Marvel. Again, trying to avoid some spoilers here and some of the mentions of things and Easter eggs, but yeah, so this kind of checks out, I think. Again, they've never officially come out and stated it like a per year basis. We still don't really know. I mean, at one point they were like, we're going to explain how Spider-Man Homecoming starts, and it kind of goes up against what we said with the Avengers, but they never did. So maybe they'll never actually explain this timeline, and we're just going to kind of assume it's all 2 years, 3 years after. Or maybe they will, and we just haven't gotten to that point yet. So, yeah, in case you were wondering when it takes place, well, 1.5 to 2 years. That's the optimistic and best answer that anybody can give us. And I say optimistic because optimistically we hope they're right. And that Feige doesn't come out and he's like, actually, 7 years.